Okay, everybody, this is Dr. Jenkins. Here, we're going to talk about the results of the amino acid chromatography. Now, I know that you're not getting to see my pretty face, well, my face, but it was just easier for me to record it this way because I wanted you to be able to see better the results. We can zoom in, zoom out, versus if I'm recording it the other way, it's harder to see. So let me just refresh your memory briefly. This lab was all about amino acid chromatography, right? So we used a procedure, let me take that away. We used a procedure called chromatography. If you remember, chromatography is a way of separating things, and it allows us to identify whether or not a solution has certain things present. In this case, what we did is we took this lovely supplement that I just purchased from my own money. This is a branched chain amino acid athletic supplement. It says, let me zoom in so we can see it better. It says it has leucine, isoleucine, and valine. What we wanted to do was put this branched chain amino acid powder to the test. The label says it contains leucine, isoleucine, and valine. We wanted to see if it actually does. So here we go. We used a paper chromatography that was able to give us qualitative results. Here, drum roll please, ladies and gentlemen. Here are the results comparing the branched chain amino acid powder to valine. It says it has 3 amino acids, isoleucine, leucine, and valine. Here are the results for valine. If you remember, the way to read this is our unknown, which is the our known, which is the valine. Our known was tested, and it gives us a certain spot at a certain level. So in this particular strip, we were measuring valine. This is the known. And then what we did is we put that branched chain amino acid powder and did the same thing. It's separated, in this case, valine. And if you remember, how we record this is if you see a line or a dot at the same spot, it's positive. So based on this, does the branched chain amino acid powder have valine that are at the same level dots? Yes. So according to our results, the branched chain amino acid powder did contain valine. So we're going to put a check mark beside valine. Let's go to the next one. In this one, here's where we tested the knowns for leucine. Here was our known for leucine. Came to a dot right there. Here was our dot for isoleucine. Now it just so happens that they tend to come to a similar level. Isoleucine forms a dot that's a little bit bigger. Leucine forms a dot that's a little bit smaller. But more or less, they're at the same level. And that's because they're branched chain amino acids. These 3 branched chain amino acids, leucine, isoleucine, and valine, they're chemically similar. What we did is we tested the unknown, the branched chain amino acid powder. Guess what? It's right here. So, does branched chain amino acid powder have a dot at the same level of leucine and valine? Leucine and isoleucine? Yes! So, indeed, the branched chain amino acid powder contains leucine, and it contains isoleucine. Let's go back to our label. We already know that through our test, the branched chain amino acid powder contains valine. Guess what? Also contains isoleucine, and it also contains leucine. So far, I'm pretty happy. Now remember, this test, the type of chromatography that we did, is only qualitative. So we can say that this supplement powder does contain leucine, isoleucine, and valine. But what we're not able to tell from this type of chromatography is the amount. Now, to finish this off, I wanted to have a basis for comparison. In these previous two, we tested the branched chain amino acid powder to our 3 branched chain amino acids, leucine, isoleucine, and valine. I wanted to test 2 non-branched chain amino acid powders. 2 non-branched chain amino acids. You can tell I'm recording this on a Friday afternoon. So here we have glutamic acid. It's an amino acid, but it's not a branched chain amino acid. Here we have phenylalanine. That's a mouthful. Phenylalanine is also not a branched chain amino acid. Therefore, should our branched chain amino acid powder, should it test positive for phenylalanine and glutamic acid? Let's go to the label. Does this label say that it contains phenylalanine or glutamic acid? Nope. I don't even see it in the other ingredients. I don't see phenylalanine or glutamic acid anywhere. So that means that, based on the label, it should not contain phenylalanine and glutamic acid. Let's go to the tape. Let's go to the results. So here is our known for glutamic acid. It only came up this far. Let's compare that to our unknown branched chain amino acid powder. Is there a dot for the branched chain amino acid powder at the level of the glutamic acid? Nope. So that means that the branched chain amino acid powder does not have glutamic acid. But that's what should happen, because it doesn't say on the label that it contains glutamic acid. So that's the result we would expect. But now let's look at phenylalanine. Phenylalanine known has a dot right here. Wait a minute, does branched chain amino acid powder have a dot at the same level? It does. So the branched chain amino acid powder does test positive for phenylalanine. If I go to the label, it doesn't say phenylalanine. However, according to our results, it does contain, let me spell that, phenylalanine. So it does contain that, but that's not on the label. So that gives a frowny face. This is why we wanted to do this. We wanted to put a supplement to the test. We remember that supplements are not regulated very strongly at all. So even though it says something on a label, doesn't mean that it actually has it. So there's good and bad news. According to our test, the branched chain amino acid powder did contain the 3 branched chain amino acids that it said it did. However, on the not so good side, according to our tests, it contains phenylalanine, which is not on the label. So that is not consistent. All right, folks, I hope you enjoyed the paper chromatography simple test to give us results. As always, if you have any questions, let me know.